Okay, we're on the air. Well, good evening, everyone. It's Thursday, 6:30, August 15th, 2024. I'd like to welcome you all to the Village Council regular meeting. And if you would stand, please, and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Diane, do we have Councilman O'Mara and Councilwoman Radowski on the line yet?
Yes, we do, Mayor.
Okay, so they're on your,
Yes.
we're going to be, do we have audio for them?
We do. They are self-muted, but they are on here, and all they have to do is unmute their phone, and
Tell them they can unmute.
that's what I'm telling them.
Good evening, Mayor. Can you hear
Good
me?
evening, how are you?
I'm sorry, who is this?
I'm
Dan
here.
Rodusky.
They're up, was it the Florida League of Cities conference?
Yes.
The Florida League of Cities conference is where they are calling in from. So they're working for us right now too. Diane, please let the record show all members of council are present with Councilman O'Mara and Councilwoman Radowski on the phone.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. With that, we have a presentation, a special presentation this evening from Diane Gutman. She's the Director of Operations of Our Community Cares. Diane, please welcome. Thanks for taking the time to come tonight. I know you guys had an event to announce this, but I appreciate you coming here to let us know and let our citizens know a little bit about what you guys are doing.
Thank you very much. Can everybody hear me?
Sure.
Okay. Like the mayor said, my name is Diane Gutman. I am the Director of Operations with Our Community Cares. And Our Community Cares is a non-for-profit program for seniors 65 and older who are choosing to age in place. We offer free non-medical services to persons aged 65 and older. The supported services provided by volunteers who are vetted, trained, and they help to minimize the feelings of isolation and loneliness that are so commonly expressed through our participants. We extend the time that persons 65 and over can remain in their homes with the help of these volunteers. All people 65 and over benefit from our free non-medical support and strong social connections to extend the time they remain in their homes. We are preferred option for volunteering and charitable giving. We have 9 board members. And the organization utilizes the concept of neighbors helping neighbors to assist individuals with transportation to medical and non-medical appointment, social visits and phone calls, a light maintenance program. We assist with general correspondence and advocacy. Our transportation to medical and non-medical services allow individuals who do not drive to still be able to get to their appointments. Our hospitality committee provides social visits and hospitality phone calls. Our light, and I emphasize light maintenance program.
What does that mean?
It means that we are not going to do any contracting work. We do not do any type of plumbing, but we'll go in and change
Oh my God.
batteries and smoke detector.
Okay.
Smoke detectors. We'll change
I see.
air conditioner filters, light bulbs. One of our volunteers, you could see in the picture, Pat, he's very handy. He can fix a broken drawer,
Probably
maybe a
enjoys doing
lamp.
those things too, right?
So, yeah.
Uh.
As of 2022, 16.5% of Royal Palm Beach residents were 65 and over. Over 25% of Palm Beach County residents are aged 65 and over. It is predicted this will grow 10% by 2027. These residents face many hurdles related to aging independently, such as an increased cost of living in Palm Beach County, a shortage of affordable assisted living facilities, and a large number of these persons have no family members living in Palm Beach County. So our volunteers become the family's eyes and ears. We have 52 volunteers, 146 participants. Participants are those that are the seniors who participate in our program. The last quarter, our volunteers gave 814 hours of their time, and they have touched the participants 638 times. So that is a big number to combat the loneliness that is within our society with the aging. The value of services provided is, for the last quarter, was $37,200 of free service that we provided to our seniors. And the average age of our participants is 84 years old, and the average age of our volunteers is 67.
The average age is 84? How's that happen? That's really up. That's significant. But the volunteers, the average age?
67. We have a
67.
lot of retirees who are very active. They want to give back. And they also know that one day we're all going to need a service like this to keep us at home.
You have to figure out a way to stop that. I'll slow that down.
No, but if we do, we're going to
We're going to be rich. But
yeah. So 52% of our participants combined the Wellington and the Royal Palm Beach live alone. And they take advantage of all of our services, including our hospitality phone calls to check in on them, visits. We have a respite companionship program that enables family caregivers to take a break. So if someone is homebound and the family member needs to go to an appointment or they want to go to lunch with a friend, a volunteer will spend a couple hours each week with their loved ones so that they can do that. For medical needs, we provide dependable transportation to doctor's appointments, pick up prescriptions, and keep loved ones up to date on their loved one's health status. Our volunteers provided 155 medical-related trips in the second quarter. Each week, we deliver food from a local church on Southern Boulevard, Grace Chapel. They are a distributor for Restoration House, and we'll send a volunteer there to pick up the food. It is perishable food, and they will deliver it to homebound individuals that participate in our program.
Romper room.
If they can't cook,
What church was that you said?
Grace Chapel.
And they're on Southern Boulevard?
They're on the corner of Southern Boulevard and Seminole Pratt.
Oh, I know where that is.
You know where that is?
I know
Yeah.
exactly where
Yeah.
that is.
Each Sunday
I've been
they
there
give
a few
out
times.
food,
Wow.
and
Okay.
they ask us to pick it up on
That's out in
Fridays.
Waxahachie though, right?
As of December 1st, it's going to be Wellington, but it is Waxahachie. Yeah.
Wow.
From
Okay.
that corner over is going to be
I didn't
Wellington.
realize they're moving west.
Yeah, it is pretty far west.
Westwood Ho. Okay.
Last quarter, there were 66 food deliveries. And if somebody can't cook, so that food that's being delivered to them is not going to be beneficial to them, Area Agency on Aging has a program that if they are truly homebound, they will deliver pre-cooked meals that come frozen to them. And they deliver, I think, every 2 weeks. So they'll give them enough food for 2 weeks that they can just heat up in the microwave.
That's impressive.
And our volunteers will help them sign up for that because it's a pretty lengthy process of an interview. We also take participants to the library, the grocery shopping, to church, community events that keep them active and social, and more than 111 times in the second quarter. Our Community Cares also provides a number of programs, including flowers that get delivered on birthdays, holiday poinsettias, Thanksgiving and holiday meals. And last quarter, there were 9 deliveries, but that'll go up next quarter because of all the holidays coming up. Over 5,100 miles were driven by our volunteers in quarter 2. Each volunteer is invited to attend a volunteer meeting each month. It keeps them abreast of the resources that are out in our community. We have speakers that come in and talk about health-related topics that relate to seniors. And we also are able to engage with one another, and friendships are formed, and we can kind of talk about maybe some things that we've run into, share some funny stories. We have a lot of community involvement. There are local doctors and supporters that really like to give back to the community, and they could do so through our organization. Community outreach is very big. I like to attend, and our volunteers to attend any type of health fair that's out there to get the word out that we're here for our seniors. And of course, with our new name change, we made the news. And these are our community partners.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Does anybody have any?
I guess, yeah, how do citizens, senior citizens reach out to get plugged in or connected with your, to get services from you? How does that process work?
Well, what they do is they will call me, and then I go into the home and kind of do a little assessment, make sure that their home is safe.
So you would personally do that? You don't have a
Yes,
staff
each
that
and
does
every
that?
person, I go
Wow.
in and do it. Check to see if there's any tripping hazards, make sure that they're safe in the bathrooms with grab bars or
Wow. But
seats.
how do they know, how do they get information that you exist to?
Word
that
of
these services
mouth.
are out there?
A lot of it is word of mouth. That's why I'm
Word of
here.
mouth.
I depend on
And that's why we invited you.
you all. Yes, yes. And also the town crier puts in an ad in the paper whenever they have room so that people can find out about us. But I would say mainly word of mouth and our volunteers.
Well, I'm going to look into see if there's anything we can do to at least help put information out there about your organization and what you're doing. But this has been very enlightening.
And I visit all the different communities and let the HOAs know that we're here.
Okay. You're a busy
So-
person.
Yeah. So thank you. Any other questions?
Actually,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for the good work you do and for coming and spreading the word with us here tonight.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you very much. You know about about our services, right? Thank you.
Thanks very much. And I actually have two questions. Number one, is there a cost associated?
All free,
Okay. And then what is the age that you need to be for a participant?
65.
Okay. So anybody over 65?
Anybody over 65 who live in Wellington and Royal Palm Beach can utilize our services. Our hopes is to replicate this throughout the county because we get phone calls from all over the county, even outside the county, requesting these services.
The list of supporting firms that you put up before, which I thought was very impressive, are they in sync with your thinking about that expansion on a countywide basis?
Yes, and we would like to work very hard at getting the support and the funding that we need so
Right.
that we
Well,
can
funding's the key.
spread
here.
this. Yeah. Yeah, because we're going to need more employees to work those areas. So.
And I just have one more question.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the expansion throughout the county because there's so many organizations out there that do work with seniors. Do you augment the services? Do you collaborate with others? Do you, or is it competitive?
It's not competitive. We do not replicate what's already out there. We can help people to get the resources that they need that we don't provide. So we will connect them to other services, and we are strictly non-medical. So when somebody needs more intense services, then we can really help them. We collaborate with Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. When they find somebody in need, they're called to a home. They'll reach out to us and connect that person with us so that we can help them. The fire rescue, the same thing. The local hospitals refer their patients, the nurses and the caseworkers refer their patients to us upon discharge because it helps them to keep people out of the hospital before they get readmitted on that 30-day period where the hospital will get fined, because they can send them home and that person may not be able to go get their prescriptions or get to a doctor's appointment. They reach out to us, we get them to the doctor's appointment, we get them their prescriptions, which helps keep them out of the hospital. I have Marge Sullivan with me. She's a board member and a volunteer.
I'm one of those over 67-year-old volunteers. Great satisfaction from coming out here to Royal Palm, delivering poinsettias to Stratmore Gate and Greenway South and Royal Palm Estates and Thanksgiving dinners and taking people to the doctor. And I really appreciate it. And that's why it's been really rewarding for me. So that's why I decided to join the board, because I really like to see the expansion, much needed service.
And you're probably impressed that, or surprised that the average age is 84, but I'm
Yes.
finding a lot of people are approaching or are over the age of 100.
Wow. I'd like to know more
So
about that.
people are living longer. I wish I knew. I wish I knew why. But yeah, it's amazing. We have a new participant who's almost 102. So
I'm a big believer in data-driven information, and this is data that demonstrates something we've been saying. Oh, the lifespans have expanded and people living longer. They really are.
really are.
Yeah, they really are. So
Yes.
that's very good.
So we all need to be looking ahead and figuring out where are we going to be. Well, thank you all.
Jan or Jeff, either of you have a question?
Yes, Diane, thank you so much for your presentation. For residents who'd love to volunteer for the program, how do they go about volunteering and what requirements are necessary?
Well, they'll call me and I will give them the information to get fingerprinted and background checked. And then once that is done, they go through a training with me. And then they get signed up. A volunteer does not have to commit to a certain day of the week or fulfill a certain amount of volunteer hours per month. The requests come into me. I send them out in an email to all of our volunteers. And if they see something on that email list that they're able to help with, they just respond back. If not, they just ignore it and wait for the next one. So it never interferes with a volunteer's work day or their vacation or their social time.
Awesome.
Let them fit it in.
Sure.
Hey, Diane, it's Jeff Amara. Hey, listen, I love what you guys do. It's a
Thank
wonderful
you.
of putting people together. The isolation is really a major issue as folks get older. There's no doubt about it. And know that they're not alone, and actually providing them with significant resources to help them out makes a huge difference. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you very much. Our website, if you want to look further into our organization, is www.ourcommunitycaresfl.org. And it's on the back of the cards that I gave out to you. And if you have any questions, you can call me. My number's on here.
Okay,
Okay.
we're going to begin some calls.
That would be wonderful. I look forward to
Okay.
it. Thank you all so much.
Any
Bye.
other questions? Jeff, Jan, any other questions? I can't see you shaking your head.
No, thank you. Yeah, shaking our head.
Okay, well, once again, thank you so much, and thank you
Thank you
for
for
the
having
wonderful contribution that this organization is making to our community, a very significant part of the community, our senior citizens, and we are always looking to figure out what we can do to improve their quality of life for them, and you're doing it, and
We'll pass that on to our
continue to
volunteers.
march. But you'll be hearing from me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Good night.
Wow. How do you follow that? At this time, we're going to have our reports. Jeff and Jan, I'll start with you two guys. Do you have reports for this evening?
I do, Mayor. Just one note. I wanted to share the Shakespeare Festival numbers with everybody.
I was waiting to hear that. Good.
Over the course of the 4 days, we hit 596 people, 167 on Thursday, 127 on Friday, 187 on Saturday, and then 115 on Sunday, but it started to look like it was going to rain. So I think that's why that number was lower. But all in all, we have grown from the first year of 386 to this 596. So
Excellent.
pretty great growth. And
Yeah.
I learned that 1/4 of the audience each night had never been to Shakespeare before in the village. So that was nice to hear that we have new people coming every year.
Okay. It's something we have to continue. Jeff?
So just to follow up on what Jan said, I think I heard something about them being interested in doing perhaps a winter version of the Shakespeare.
Yes, there's something in the air about that. We'll take a look at it.
And the reason I mentioned it was more along the lines of one of the challenges is during the heat that we're having right now. It really, I think, might have held down the numbers even.
Good point.
Would be much greater than that had we not had to deal with that. But anyway, I think it's a great event. I think it's just an amazing kind of a opportunity to expand the culture in the Western community. So congratulations. Good job. One thing I wanted to mention was the Education Advisory Board had its first meeting. And as we normally do, it's an organizational meeting. We set they chose the chair for the coming year, which is Jennifer Sullivan. She's done that before. She does a great job, as did her predecessor. And one of the other things that the committee or the board does at the very beginning, it gives the assignments where they select them themselves. So we have one member of the board acting as a liaison with one of our 6 schools. And so those assignments have been made. I think there's going to be a real intense effort to make sure that, we really do have that engagement, because I think that brings a tremendous amount both to the school and then also to the board during the meeting. So it looks like a really good start for the year. Also, the chair gets to identify an initiative, a particular question or issue or area that she will ask each one of the schools, principals, and the school district to address when they do their presentation. And this year it started out, it was interesting because the idea that time management is a challenge for high schoolers in particular, but for that matter, even younger kids, such that maybe a special effort to teach time management came from the interviews that were done for the scholarship program. And so as they discussed, they decided to broaden the initiative to resource management, so that it would also address another concern, which is the difficulty that a lot of young adults have with financial management, making a budget, handling their money and their credit cards and things like that. So it's got a broader umbrella, and thrown under that umbrella was also the idea of volunteerism, and as a resource, it's the talent. And so I think it's going to be a great initiative. I think it's going to be interesting to have the schools present what they're doing, and then also to see how that aligns with what the school district is doing in that area. So we're all looking forward to a really good year. So we've had some interesting items down here as we actually been down here 2 days now, and each one of them won't go into them in depth, but they're really major issues throughout the state and probably even nationally. One of them was mental health, and the presentation was done through a panel, and it turns out that the panel comes from Palm Beach County, and so we know a lot of these folks who do a lot of really good work with mental health, and we were reminded that that every day, 22 veterans on average take their lives.
Take their
And
lives.
what I didn't know was that veterans are 2.5 times more likely to commit suicide than those who have not been veterans, who are not veterans. So the focus of the effort is very special and intense in that regard. There's a lot of reminder about the new crisis line, 988, which provides an immediate response to those who are having serious considerations of suicide. And one of the other things that they pointed out was that 47% of young adults between the age of 18 and 24 have reported serious bouts of anxiety and depression. So this is a widespread, serious, deep-seated problem in this country. And with organizations like NAMFI, which is the National Affiliation for Mental Illness, headed by, in Palm Beach County, Catherine Murphy, as the CEO, organizations like that are bringing awareness to the communities and also approaches to dealing with what oftentimes goes unnoticed until it's too late, mental illness. I have a packet actually of information which I will share with Monica and anybody else who's interested that might be useful in sharing with the staff. So far it's been really good. We did talk a little bit about, had a session on AI. Very, very interesting session on AI. It's certainly an emerging area. I didn't realize how much you could do with it. It's amazing. And then on the other side of it, it's a little scary, but it is something that will change the way we do business as we go forward. The comparison was done with when calculators were introduced, handheld calculators. It didn't change the fact that we were still doing math. It just changed how we were doing it. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But there's a lot of practical uses that have already been identified for local governments. So a lot of good information being put out. We'll bring back a lot of stuff. That completes my report.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for that update on what's going on down there. Selena, you don't want to do it first?
I'll go ahead. I didn't know if you wanted to skip over them.
Why would I skip over them?
Well, you started that way.
Yeah, but there's nobody sitting there. That was a virtual.
That was, okay.
It's like AI.
Yeah, AI is extremely scary considering that it's not regulated. So yes, there's a lot more you can do with it than a handheld
That's the part I'm
calculator.
concerned about, the lack of,
Yeah.
of regulation. They're behind on this.
Yeah.
But
You don't even know if it's really me sitting here. I'm a hologram.
well, you don't know if this is really me either.
Exactly, Memorex. Good evening, everyone. Tomorrow we have a concert in the park at Commons Park at 7 o'clock. It's the Viva Band, and they do classic rock, Motown, R&B, so they'll be out there. Petite Academy of Dance is taking registrations over at our rec center, and Tiny Toes are ages from 2 to 3, and Dance Combo 3 and 4 is for ages 11 through 13, and classes begin on Monday, the 26th of August. Youth volleyball continues as well, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And adult pickleball in the gym is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Crestwood North Park is open. There are still a couple parts that are not completed yet, so the courts we're still working on, but other things out there, the playscapes and the space is open, so enjoy. And registration is also open for Young at Heart, so that sells out their membership every year, so that's now open for registration. And finally, my PBSO is doing a free food distribution Wednesday, the 28th of August over at Commons Park from 8:30 until noon or while supplies last. So if you need to, please stop out there for it. And that's my report.
Okay. You know, it's interesting. I'm already hearing positive feedback about that new park in Crestwood.
Yeah.
And it's not even completely done yet.
Completed yet. Yeah,
So
just wait.
yeah.
And just to see the uproar that it was at the time of the
That's what I was
location.
saying. I said, well, we spent a lot of time talking about what we needed to do to make
Right.
it work for the community.
Yeah.
So good.
I'm waiting
All
for the pier.
Only report I have is school's back in. So hopefully everyone drives safely and be nice out there. And along with school, we have school football. So this Friday, or I guess that's tomorrow, is the first Royal Palm Beach High School game at 6 o'clock.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
And that's it.
Here we are. Football's back. Ray?
No report, Mayor. Thank you.
Maddie?
No report, Mr. Mayor. Keith sends his apologies. He was under the weather, so that's why
okay.
he's not here tonight.
So
But nice
Keith,
to
we
be
hope
with
he
you.
feels well.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, that completes our reports for this evening. At this time, does anyone have a petition they'd like to present to the council? Now would be the time to do that. Seeing no petitions coming up, I'm going to close the floor to petitions in for the rest of this evening and take statements from the public on non-agenda items or consent agenda items. Diane, were there any prior public comments, non-agenda items or consent?
Just the one they gave me.
Well, no, I know I got the card.
No other ones.
Okay.
No, Mayor.
Grace?
None.
Okay. I do have a comment card on non-agenda item. Mr. Tim Woodcock? Come on up. Did I pronounce your name properly?
Have a seat. Congratulations on the new building. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Tim Woodcock. I'm at 145 Sandpiper Avenue. I love this town. I bought my second home in 2009 here on Sandpiper, and I'm just here to talk about the algicide that we're putting in our waterways. And
Algicide?
yeah, the algicide. Well, algicide and herbicide.
Okay.
That these are actual labels from some of the chemicals that you guys are using, and every one of them say highly toxic to fish and also to wildlife. And I clearly see a difference once they spray. And it's only been about 3 years since you guys implemented this type of eradication for the weeds, but I just find it to be kind of scary, especially for the fact that my neighbor across the street showed me this hanger on her door that said, do not water your grass for 2 weeks because we just treated the canal, which is on the other side of the street from me. I'm on the lake. And, because it would kill their grass. And I'm like, well, if this is being atomized into the air through their sprinkler systems, what's the potential that this might be a problem? Because everybody knows, everyone's seen the commercials for Roundup being a possible carcinogen. And I'm just kind of trying to stop a problem before it starts. And I don't want to just be a problem, or cause a problem. I'd like to offer a solution, which would be Asian carp. I understand Challenger Lake has Asian carp in it. Somehow they were put in there, and they're about 40 pounds at this point, and they control the weeds. And I'm just saying that it would be a lot cheaper to implement that.
So let me see if I understand what you're saying. You're saying in one body of water within the village, we're using a different treatment than we are in the body of water that
No, it's my understanding that the treatment's the same throughout the whole canal system, that they're doing that. And from my understanding also that they're spending, the council or the village is spending about $250,000 on these chemicals.
What's the name of the item that was in Challenger? What'd you call it?
Fish, the carp, right?
Yeah, Asian carp. It's
fish.
Yeah, they're certified Asian
I
carp.
don't know anything about fishing, so I'm sorry. But
Yeah, I did some research on it, and back about 5 years ago when I found out about it or started doing research, it costs about $7 a fish. And the fish you only need about 5 fish per acre for waterways. So I'm going to say this is a much better solution. Now, of course, there are pros and cons to this. If they're not properly sterilized, they can reproduce.
The fish will take care of the problem?
Yes, they only eat the grass.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm out of
That's
time.
okay. No, I just want to be trying to understand what you're saying. You're saying so maybe it might be safer to buy more fish?
Yeah, to buy the Asian carp and put them in the waterways, maybe at least for Commons Park.
Okay, I just want to make sure because my manager will look into this and he'll talk with our public works folks. And
I did send an email to the new director of Parks and Rec, and I understand
Okay.
he's very busy, but he kind of shot it down. He said it's really not in our budget to do that right now, but I'm going to say it's probably.
Which is why you're here tonight to bring it to our attention. So we appreciate that.
All right, no, I appreciate you listening to me.
You
And
got things you want to leave with us?
well, maybe make some copies of what I have. I would like to keep these labels because, this is
Okay.
something that I acquired, but yeah, if you please entertain,
If you want to make copies, you can make copies of that and bring it to the office and turn it over.
Or you
to
can
the
email, he
clerk.
can email,
Or you can email it in.
make a copy at home and email.
Thank you very much.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sorry I showed up late.
No, 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 you can leave. You can leave. We won't make you stay. Okay. All right. All right. Since there are no further, anyone else wants to make public comments on non-agenda items or items on the consent agenda, now would be the time, even though I don't have any comment cards other than the one that was submitted. Seeing none, I'm closing the floor then to public comment on the non-agenda items on the consent agenda. And Diane, please give us the consent agenda.
Yes, Mayor, will. Thank you. Number 1, approval of the minutes of the council special meeting of July 11th, 2024, council budget workshop of July 11th, 2024, and council regular meeting of July 18th, 2024. 2, approval of a special event permit for Mission Barbecue Company to hold a grand opening celebration honoring our local heroes, Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, Palm Beach County Fire and Rescue, and active duty military and veterans at a Mission Barbecue restaurant located at 11929 Southern Boulevard. The event will take place during business hours on August 27th, 2024 and September 11th, 2024. 3, approval of special event permit for the Royal Palm Beach Brewing Company to hold an Oktoberfest celebration at 543 North State Road 7, Suite 103, in the Commons at Royal Palm Beach Shopping Plaza. The event will take place on Saturday, September 21st, 2024, from 11 a.m. until 10 p.m. 4, approval of the special event permit for the Village of Royal Palm Beach to hold a green market and bazaar at Village Hall every Saturday, beginning October 12th, 2024 through May 31st, 2025, from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. 5, approval of a special event permit for Amber's Animal Outreach to hold a Halloween fundraiser at the Community Animal Hospital of Royal Palm Beach on Saturday, October 27th, 2024, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. 6, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute a consent to assignment of investment management services agreement in accordance with Section 8 of the Investment Management Services Agreement. 7, approval and authorization in accordance with established policy to make a budget amendment for Fund 303 in the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Said amendment to transfer a total of $6,000 from street sign replacement and repairs project PW24SS to street restriping project PW24SR. 8, approval and authorization in accordance with established policy to make a budget amendment for Fund 408 in the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. Said amendment to transfer a total of $453,000 from Fund 304 undesignated fund balance to Sycamore Drainage Repair Project SW2401. 9, approval of the bid award in the amount of $304,500 and authorization for the village manager to execute a contract with Johnson Davis Incorporated, the highest ranked bidder for Sycamore Drainage Repair. Funds to come from the Sycamore Drainage Repair Project, project number SW2401.
Okay. Any questions or comments from members on council on the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve consent agenda items 1 through 9.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Did I get a vote from Jan and Jeff?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Diane, let the record show that consent agenda was approved 5-0. Okay. All right, well, now we'll go to our regular agenda. Regular agenda R1, item R1 is a public hearing to consider application number 23-104, an application by AMG Business Enterprises and adoption of resolution number 23-45, confirming the council action. The applicant is requesting preliminary plat approval to add approximately 0.235 acres to the existing development for a total replatted area of approximately 1.825 acres for a property located at 6846 Seminole Palms Drive. Bradley, yours.
Great, thank you, Mayor. If you remember, this is one of the properties that we sold. And so this is just kind of giving it its entitlements to make it a viable site. The site has a future land use designation of industrial and a zoning designation of an industrial general. This application is reviewed concurrently with a special exception and a site plan application on tonight's agenda. Here is the preliminary plat. All very interesting stuff. The preliminary plat, the plat contains all the information required. The platted property meets all dimensional requirements for the industrial general zoning district. The Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on July 23rd, 2024 and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. Staff is recommending approval of this application and adoption of resolution 2345. With that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you.
Okay. Diane, were there any prior comments from the public on this agenda item? Ray, any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
All right, I have not received any public comment cards on agenda item R1, so I'm closing public comments to that item and open for questions from members on council. If there are none, would the applicant like to make comments?
I'm here to answer any
You're
comments
good?
you might have.
You're satisfied with the presentation provided by staff? Satisfied with the presentation presided by staff?
I can do better than that.
Yeah. No.
You don't have to be that honest. Okay. If there are no questions or comments from members on council, I'll look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Diane, let the record show that agenda item R1 was approved 5-0. Thank you so much for your comments. No. No, good luck. I'm glad to see this project has moved along. We always refer this to.
Yeah, there are
Okay.
2 more coming, right?
All right, next item is agenda item R2, is a public hearing to consider application number 23-045, an application by Vincent Kafer of HM2V Inc. on behalf of AMG Business Enterprises, and adoption of resolution number 23-37 confirming council action. The applicant is seeking and requesting special exception use approval for an automotive/or watercraft repair/or service within the industrial general zoning district to expand the current operation to newly acquired approximately 0.235 acre parcel for a property located at 6846 Seminole Palms Drive. Now, this is a quasi judicial item as well as the next one.
Yes,
So
sir.
you want to swear anyone in for both?
Yes, sir. And I'll swear staff in at the same time. If I could, Mr. Kafer, could you raise your right hand for me?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. And I'll turn to counsel. So he's been sworn on both items. If you'd like, you can disclose both your ex parte communications for both items now at one time if you'd like, because I presume they're the same, but
None?
Staff.
Just staff.
Yeah.
Staff.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Bradford, you are.
Great, thank you, Mayor. In reviewing the proposed special exception, village staff considered compatibility with adjacent land uses, consistency with the village's comprehensive plan, and conformance with the village's development standards for the zoning district, specifically as it relates to development regulations, does not have adverse environmental impacts, does not have adverse vehicle or pedestrian traffic impacts, does not have an adverse impact on public facilities. Adjacent properties, is compatible with the character and living conditions of the existing neighborhood, and does not have adverse impact on property values in adjacent areas. It's not a deterrent to the improvement or development of adjacent properties. does not reduce air quality or quantity of light and air available to adjacent properties. Staff has determined that the proposed special exception conforms with the village's standards and therefore is recommending approval of this application. And the Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on July 23rd and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. And with that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you.
Okay, thank you, Prophet. Applicant like to make any comments? No, you're good? You're good with the way it was presented? Okay. Diane, any prior public comments
No,
on
ma'am.
agenda item R2? Ray, any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
Okay, I have not received any public comment cards on agenda item R2, so I'm going to close public comments to this agenda item and ask for questions and comments from members on council.
I just have a quick question. Are these additional services that you're going to be offering in this new parcel of land, or are these services currently being offered at the location now?
The current service.
Okay, so
It's
you're
just-
not
it's just a
adding
parking lot.
additional, okay. Okay, so it's not additional services that you're offering.
No,
What's the
not
extra
at all.
space? Gotcha.
All right, if there are no further comments or questions from members on council, I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve regular agenda item R2.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Diane, we have no opposed. Please let the record show agenda item R2 was approved at 5-0. Moving on to agenda item R3, it's also a public hearing to consider application number 23-048, an application by HM2V Inc. on behalf of AMG Business Enterprises, and approval of resolution number 23-42. The applicant is requesting a site plan modification in order to incorporate the newly acquired approximately 0.235 acres into the previously approved site plan for a property located at 6846 Seminole Palms Drive. And with that, everybody's been sworn in already.
Great, thank you, Mayor. The property is currently vacant. The applicant has indicated in their justification statement that the ultimate goal is to develop the property for the purpose of enlarging the existing Paint Lux facility parking lot. The justification statement further states that no storage of any material or equipment, disabled vehicles of any kind will occur. Here is a slide of this area, site planned here and highlighted in green. Again, here's another illustration of that area. Here is the landscape plan showing the buffering. In reviewing this petition, village staff considered conformity with Chapter 26 of the village's core code of ordinances. Specifically, the proposed site meets the requirements for the industrial general zoning district as it pertains to parcel size, setbacks, pervious area, parking requirements, and landscape area. Overall, the site plan modification meets the village's requirements, and therefore staff is recommending approval of this application. And the Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on July 23rd, 2024, and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. And I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Bradford. Applicant like to make any comments? No, still? You still good with what? Okay, it's been presented. Diane, any prior public comment cards on agenda item R3? Ray, any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
You sure? I see you looking at the screen. I have not received any public comment cards on agenda item R3. Unless someone would like to speak, we will be closing the floor this evening on agenda item R3. Questions or comments from members on council?
I just have a quick question, but staff can answer this.
Sure.
Did we talk about fencing around the two properties? Because now that they're separate owners, or is it just Paint Lux that has it fenced in and the school was leaving it open?
I believe the school is leaving their section open. They have no real reason to secure that area.
Okay, so then Paint Lux is responsible then for fencing in their area? To do-
right.
Okay, that was my question. Thanks.
Any other comments or questions from members on council? Seeing none, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item R3.
Second,
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No, everybody said aye, right? Okay. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R3 was approved 5-0. Diane, are you done?
He's done.
Really appreciate that. It's been Long journey.
But you got there. so
7 applications.
Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Okay. Agenda item R4 is a public hearing to consider application number 20-020. An application by On-Site Civil Group and adoption of resolution number 24-06, confirming the council's action. The applicant is seeking site plan modification and architectural approval to add a car wash and detail building to an existing vehicle sales or rental use situated on a 33.43 acre parcel of land located at 9305 Southern Boulevard. This is a quasi judicial item, and is it, I don't know, are they also on the second one, just this one?
Just this one, I think. Is
Yeah.
the applicant present? Can you come to the podium, sir? And can you give the council your name, please?
My name is Jason Stow. I work with On-Site Civil. We're the civil engineers.
Thank you, sir. This is a quasi judicial hearing. Can you raise your right hand for me and I'll swear you in? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, sir. And I'll turn back to the council for any ex parte disclosures.
None?
Staff.
Thank you.
Bradford, you're right.
Thank you, Mayor. This application is essentially adding a car wash to this, to the Mazda dealership where there are other dealerships on this site that have them. So the car wash will be 3,225 square feet. Here is a site plan showing the location of the car wash, and it's outlined in red. Here is the landscaping that will be around in this area to meet our code requirements with the terminal islands. Here is an illustration of the architecture of this building, and it is designed to match the existing Mazda dealership. Overall, the proposed site is in conformance with the village's requirements. The Planning and Zoning Commission approved this application on July 23rd, 2024, and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. And staff is recommending approval of this application. And I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you. Would the applicant like to make any comments? Would you like to make any comments?
I'm good. Thank you.
You're satisfied with the presentation provided by the staff?
I am, yes, sir.
Okay, good. Diane, any prior public comment requests on agenda item R4? Ray, any prior comments on agenda item 4? Nobody's got their hands up? I'm not prior. Okay. I have not received any comment cards from the public on agenda item R4. Unless somebody would like to comment, I'm going to close the floor then to agenda public comments to agenda item R4 and ask for questions and comments from members on council. None? Everybody here is shaking their head. No, no comments. Jeff and Jan, are you guys shaking your head?
Yes, we're shaking our head.
Okay. If there are no comments from members on council, then I'll look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve regular agenda by item R4.
Second.
Wow, we got a second. Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. Diane, let the record show it was definitely a 5-0. It was approved by a 5-0 vote. You're the second one? You're not?
No, he's done.
He's done.
I think
You're
we're
good.
done.
You're good to go.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
Good luck. Okay. Well, just one question. What's your timeline when you think you'll have this up and operating?
Sooner rather than later. It's really up to the ownership, obviously.
You know, okay, well.
I wish I had an answer. For
Okay, no, it's all right. Well,
this was my part.
Your part's done. And if this is your part, you can hand it off to the next guy. How's business there these days?
Very good. Yeah. Things are keeping us busy and we're happy.
Good.
So,
okay.
very blessed.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you. Good luck. Okay. That moves us now to agenda item R5. It's a public hearing to consider application number 24-029, an application by Belvedere Road and the adoption of resolution number 24-09 confirming council's action. The applicant is seeking a site plan modification in order to replace one parking spot and 10 feet of loading space northeast of Building C with a playground area and add 30,000 square feet of medical office space within the development and an electric vehicle charging station, benches and the bike racks, and modify the previously approved landscaping for a property located at 9701 Belvedere Road. This is a quasi-judicial item, so.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Can you come to the podium, sir? Thank you. And give the council your name.
George Missimer with Kotler and Hearing.
Thank you, sir. This is quasi judicial, so I'll swear those of you who are over 18 in. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, sir. And I'll turn back to council for ex parte
Okay,
disclosure.
I had none.
Thank you.
Staff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
No. Bradford, you are.
Thank you. With that introduction, can I just say I'm satisfied with that presentation? Again, the parking lot, they're replacing some parking spaces with a 10-foot loading space. And that loading space is located here. If you look at this slide here, the proposed playground area is being requested to provide increased activities for a tenant that offers counseling and therapy for special needs patients. And that occurs in this area here. A 4-foot aluminum fence, bollards, and hedge material will be used for safety and screening for the playground area. A live oak will also be relocated to this area to provide shade for the playground area. The applicant has stated that this area will not be used for child daycare, which is a special exception use within the commercial office zoning district.
So will not?
Pardon me?
Will not be used.
Not be.
Okay.
They would come in for a special exception.
Okay.
Just having that playground component, we just wanted to make clear that there is no inherent
Okay.
idea that they're going to be. You're right. In addition to the playground, the applicant is also proposing to add electrical vehicle charging stations and benches to the north and west of Building C. And so we've had a few applications recently where the use wasn't specifically called out on the buildings. So as part of this application is also to add a medical office use option to this Building C. Village staff has determined that the minimum requirements for village code have been met and therefore are recommending approval of this application. And the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this application. And we are recommending a condition that the playground area shall not be used for daycare purposes and shall only be used in conjunction with the special needs therapy counseling in Building C.
Including that condition as part
Yes,
of.
sir, just to make it abundantly clear.
Does the applicant agree with that condition being added?
Absolutely. No problem.
Okay. Does she want to make any comments?
I think she was making comments
But she
earlier.
didn't have to be because she's under 18. But she's under
Had her
18.
say earlier.
Yeah, so she can say anything she wants. No. Okay, thank you. All right. Diane, with any prior public comments on this agenda?
No,
item?
Mayor.
Ray, any hands raised?
No, Mayor.
Okay. I have not received any public comment cards on agenda item R5. If anyone would like to, even the young lady here? No? Okay. If there are no comments from the public on agenda item R5, then I'm going to close public comments on this agenda item R5 and look for comments from members on council. If there are no comments or questions, I'll look for a motion.
I do actually have two questions, and Bradford, you can answer these real quick. I was reading the from Planning and Zoning's meeting that they had, that there was a resident that was concerned regarding the park. So has that concern been?
Yes.
Addressed?
Yeah, it was a tenant that was concerned about that this would turn into a playground for a daycare center. And so that's where we usually fall back on the justification statement. You tell us what you want to do, and that's what's approved by council. But this was the added measure to make sure that it didn't become a daycare playground.
Okay. So then that has been
Yes.
satisfied. Okay. And then my other question is the modification of previously approved landscaping. What modification is being done?
The modifications that were being done were to,
Bradford, I could probably
Go ahead.
provide a quick response to that. It was primarily around the foundation of the building. Again, we had to modify for the addition of the playground, which shifted some trees around, but also some of the sidewalks on the perimeter of the building had been modified. The building's under construction now, so things got updated and we were just reflecting those changes and making sure everything aligned. So just minor tweaks, no cost measures involved.
Okay. So you're not, you will be replacing the vegetation that was there or putting in the trees that you're supposed to be putting in, and there will be shade in the park area, playground area as well for those that are there, correct?
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thanks.
No, Richard?
I make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R5 was approved 5-0. Good luck.
Thank you very
All
much.
right. Say bye-bye. Oh, excellent. Nice job. Okay.
It's the first person who smiled at a council meeting.
Hey, we're child friendly here. That's good. Okay, I have no other items on our agenda this evening, and unless someone has something we need to talk about, we're going to, before I adjourn, I just want to go back to something that Councilman Richard said earlier. School is open again. We're back. They're back. So let's just be a little patient in the mornings. We know there's going to be a little bit more traffic out there, and this, try to, in the school zones, obey the rules there and the speed limits. So that our students are all going to be safer, because we know the drivers on the road are going to take better care because they're back. Okay. And with that, we stand adjourned.